Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fish Midwest. I'm your host, John B. And today we're out on the beautiful Hocking River. It's wintertime. There is a thin layer and coat of snow out on the trees and the riverbanks today. It's just beautiful. We decided to do a little wading just for fun. And I brought the rod along today because I want to do a little review for you guys. Being that it's a new year, I want to start off with some newer videos, some different types of videos, doing rod reviews, reel reviews, lure reviews, stuff like that. You know, just kind of informing you what's new, what's good, and what the fish are biting on, and just kind of sharing my personal preference along with other people's personal preferences through my video form. I know I haven't been making a whole lot of videos lately. It's been, I think, a month since my last video. I apologize for that, being the fact that I've had the last month off of school, spending a lot of time with family, and getting back into school is difficult, and just kind of getting the swing of things is a little rusty. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's review, and stay tuned. So the rod that I chose today is the Powell Inferno. Now this is a rod that's been creating a lot of buzz in the bass fishing industry for quite some time. It's a fairly new rod on the Powell lineup. Since they're starting to discontinue the old Powell Maxes and get rid of some of the endurance models, they're starting to come out with newer stuff. The new diesels, the new Infernos, the TI Maxes. Rods like that are starting to peak and are starting to become what most Powell anglers are using now. And the rod that I chose is the Powell Inferno, and this one being, I believe, is the 702 medium light. It's a fairly light action rod, very soft tip. I wanted something I could throw light drop shot rigs with, light wacky rigs. It'd be like a very weightless rig rod, something I can throw light lures a long distance and feel very small bites. So this is going to be one of my main rods for fishing in deep water, something where the fish are just barely hitting it, especially when I'm fishing places like, Three Oaks, when I'm fishing like 20 feet plus water, which is extremely deep, but I want something with a soft tip. And I'm just going to go over this rod as far as my first initial impressions, and at the end I'm just going to kind of give it a number out of 10 rating as to how I think this fits into the bass fishing industry. A few things that I want to point out on this rod, just to start off with, is the handle grip. Now this is something that seems to be very popular. You never really see just a full cork handle anymore in today's bass fishing industry, and I think it has to do with the fact that it cuts down on weight, of course. Also, you have more accessibility to the blank. You can feel lighter bites, and I think that's what Powell is going for with this, especially being a very light rod. And as you can see right there, you can just barely put your palm on that. And if there was any action at the end of the rod, you'd be able to feel pretty much 90 to 100% of that for the most part. Being that it's a split grip rod, I kind of want something that's like a full handle. I like the split grips. It just seems to be too common nowadays in bass fishing industry. Every single rod company is making a split grip, and they're cool, they're nice, they reduce weight, and they look good. But something about just a full cork handle I really like. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just me. But I wish Powell did more of that. It kind of had an option between split grip and a full grip. Shimano's doing that nowadays with the Crucials and the Comprays, and with their newer models at least. Now as far as performance, this rod has a really nice tip action to it. It's not extremely fast, where, if I were to get a very light bite, I wouldn't be able to feel it, but it's not super flimsy. It's just right. I kind of wasn't expecting that from a $130 rod. That's right around this price point of the Powell Inferno, but it's got a really very awesome tip, and to me that's the most important part of the rod, is it's got a tip that enables you to chuck small baits out there, lightweight baits, that has a little bit of backbone, of course, when you have to fight the fish, but a tip allowing you to sling under tree branches, making long casts with drop shots. When I'm fishing drop shots, I need a rod that can throw an extremely long distance on a spinning setup. So having a rod that allows me to sling baits a long distance like this one right here is really, really, really key. So I can get out on those humps, especially in clear water. I have to back the boat off, so many feet, so many yards, so that I'm not spooking the fish. The rod itself is extremely light and fits perfectly in the angler's hand, but I just feel like it could be a little bit lighter. The balance points, I don't know, kind of iffy. I just don't see it being super balanced without a heavier reel on there. And to me, I want something that I can throw a 7-ounce or lower reel, spinning reel on there, because it just complements the all around lightweight feel of a spinning setup. Now to go over some of the specs of this rod, this is a 702 medium light, extra fast tip spinning rod. The line weight test on this I think is 8 to 12 pound test. It's got an extra fast tip on it, even though it feels a little bit lighter than that. Maybe, I guess so. But it's a pretty all-around base setting rod for drop shot fishing, darterhead fishing. It's a deep water rod, really. I mean, not a lot of anglers think about having to have a very light, sensitive rod when you're fishing deep water, but having a rod like this is just so key. And you know, when I'm fishing rivers like this, and creeks and things like this, I'm going to be using this rod a lot as well, so I can sling under low-hanging branches like over here. I can get under some tight corners and things like that that will allow me to pinpoint those smallmouth and hard-to-get areas. This rod has extremely good accuracy. I haven't been fishing a whole lot, and as you can see, I was able to get right up on there. So I've been having a whole lot of practice. This rod really aids me in slinging that bait, whether it be a drop shot, a whack worm, anything like that, in the place that I want it to be. To be honest, the all-around feel of the rod, being that it has an exposed reel seat, the split grip, the guides, just the whole system of this rod, I'd probably have to give it like an 8.5 out of 10. It doesn't blow me away. It's nothing that says like, you know, this is Powell material. This feels like, you know, Powell rods. It definitely has some of the Powell components and some of the look to it, but to me it just doesn't feel like that really lightweight, easy to use endurance, which of course makes sense. The endurance is a lot more expensive, or excuse me, not a lot more expensive, but a little bit more expensive for a price point. But I think this is kind of the happy medium as far as being in between the diesel, you know, and whatever they're going to come out with after the endurances. So definitely an all-around great rod, something I would definitely consider picking up if you're into finesse fishing, real lightweight lures. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'll catch you guys next time on the next episode of Fishing in the Midwest. That was so lame.
I recorded it though.
Did you really?
So you just take it and throw it.
My feet are cold. Are your feet cold?
No, dude.